Have you ever wondered why the one who created this entire universe, the one who gave light to the stars, motion to the planets, and breath to life, does not have even a single major temple dedicated to him on this earth? In almost every religion of the world, the Creator is considered the greatest, the one who receives the highest form of worship. But in Sanatan Dharma, the creator of this universe, Lord Brahma, is hardly worshipped. Across the whole of India, there are only 1 or 2 temples dedicated to him, while the temples of Vishnu and Shiva seem to stretch endlessly. Why is that? Is it simply the result of an ancient curse? Or is there a deeper Vedic mystery hidden behind it, one that even modern science has not fully understood yet? Today, on Eternal Shiva Wisdom, we will slowly unfold the layers of this mystery, and the answer that emerges might completely change the way you see the universe. Often we are told that Lord Brahma once spoke a lie, and because of that, Lord Shiva cursed him. But pause for a moment. Why would a deity lie? In the Shiva Purana, there is a famous story. Once a dispute arose between Brahma and Vishnu about who the true master of creation was. Brahma said, "I created this universe, therefore I am the greatest."
Of this universe.
Vishnu said, "I sustain and maintain this universe, therefore I am the greatest."
And maintain this universe.
The dispute grew so intense that it almost turned into a cosmic battle. At that very moment, to stop the conflict, an infinite pillar of fire suddenly appeared between them. A pillar of divine light so vast that neither its beginning nor its end could be seen. Its brilliance was so overwhelming that both deities stood stunned for a moment. Then the two of them decided something. Whoever could find the beginning or the end of that infinite pillar of fire would be considered the supreme one. Vishnu went downward in search of its base, while Brahma went upward in search of its top. A long time passed, but the end of that pillar could not be found. In the end, Vishnu returned and honestly accepted the truth. But Brahma claimed that he had found the top of the pillar, and at that very moment, the infinite pillar of fire blazed with an even greater light. From that divine radiance, Lord Shiva manifested. Looking at Brahma, he said,
"One who abandons truth and walks the path of falsehood shall not be worshipped in this world."
And that is why it is said, temples dedicated to Brahma are almost non-existent on this earth. But pause here for a moment. Doesn't this story feel a little strange? A deity telling a lie, and that too in front of Lord Shiva. In reality, this story is not just a story. It is a profound Vedic symbol, and to understand it, we must understand the language of symbols. What does Brahma represent? He represents the creator of this universe. But the Vedas say that this universe itself is limited. In the Purusha Sukta, it is clearly stated that the supreme reality is greater than the entire creation, which means even Brahma is not infinite. On the other hand, Vishnu represents the cosmic order that sustains the universe. In the Vedas, this principle is called Rit, the eternal law of harmony, and cosmic law cannot lie. That is why Vishnu accepted the truth. But then why did Brahma lie? Because this entire world which Brahma creates is itself a form of Maya, a constantly changing illusion. The world that we consider to be solid and permanent is actually changing every moment. Brahma represents this universe itself, the realm of Maya that keeps us bound within it. And what is the nature of Maya? Deception. Just like in a desert, where from a distance you see water, but when you go closer, you realize there was never any water at all. It was only an illusion. That is the deeper message of this story. But there is another claim that is often spread on the internet. Some people say that Brahma is not worshipped because he once looked at his daughter Saraswati with impure intent. But is that really true? In the Vedas and Shastras, Saraswati is described as the Manasputri of Brahma. This means she manifested from his divine mind. She represents his speech, his knowledge, and his creative power. There is no clear evidence in any authentic Vedic scripture that proves this accusation. Over time, this story became distorted, and accepting it blindly creates a misunderstanding about Brahma and the Sanatan tradition. If you want us to explore the entire Brahma and Saraswati controversy in depth, let us know in the comments. We will bring a separate video on this topic very soon. Now let us look at another surprising aspect. Among the Trimurti, Vishnu and Shiva are considered eternal. They have no beginning and no end. But with Brahma, it is different. According to the Puranas, Brahma was born from the navel of Lord Vishnu, and anything that has a birth must also have an end. But here is another astonishing fact. Do you know how long the lifespan of Brahma is said to be? According to Vedic calculations, it is approximately 311 trillion years. At first, this number sounds unimaginably large, but even that is still limited. One Mahayuga lasts about 4.32 million years. 1,000 Mahayugas together form just one single day of Brahma. His night is just as long, and his entire lifetime is said to be 100 such years. Now think about this for a moment. An trillion years, and yet still finite. Because anything that is born will eventually come to an end. Now here is another interesting point. According to modern science, the age of our universe is estimated to be about 13.8 billion years, and just one day of Brahma is about 432 billion years, which means that thousands of years ago, our ancient sages had already imagined cosmic time on a scale that is surprisingly close to modern scientific understanding. But even then, all of this is still limited, and according to the principles of Sanatan Dharma, we do not worship anything that is bound by time. The scriptures clearly say, Trinad Brahma Paryantam Sarvam Maya Mayam Jagat. From a single blade of grass all the way up to Brahma, everything that belongs to this visible universe is Maya, and we do not worship the illusion. We worship the ultimate reality that exists beyond this Maya. But here a question naturally arises. If we do not worship the world of Maya, then why do we bow before trees, rivers, mountains, and even stones? Aren't they also part of this same world? The answer is very beautiful. When we bow before a tree, a river, or even a stone, we are not worshiping the outer form. We are worshiping the divine presence that exists within it. As the Upanishads say, Ishavashyamidam sarvam. The entire universe is pervaded by the divine. A statue can break, a tree can be cut, but the divine consciousness within it can never be destroyed. Brahma is the creator of space and time, yet he is also bound within those limits. But Shiva and Vishnu are said to exist beyond space and time, and that is the heart of this mystery. If something itself is limited, how can it lead us to the limitless? That is why Brahma is certainly respected, but he did not become the central focus of worship, because he represents the world that we must one day transcend. In Sanatan Dharma, no tradition exists without reason. When we dive deeper, we discover that behind every story, there is a profound philosophy and wisdom. Not worshiping Brahma is not an act of disrespect. Instead, it reminds us that this world is only a stage, not the final destination. It reminds us to move from the visible to the invisible, and from mortality to immortality. So the next time you bow your head inside a temple, remember this. You are not standing in front of just a statue. You are standing in search of a truth that remains even after the entire universe is created and dissolved. Because in this world, everything can change. But that ultimate truth always remains unchanging. If today's discussion stirred even a small thought within you, then write just one thing in the comments, Satyam Shivam Sundaram, and see how many people are walking this path alongside you. On the journey of eternal Shiva wisdom, our only effort is this, that with every video, A new doorway into the mysteries of Sanatan opens before you. We will be waiting for you. Truth is Shiva.